What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode. This is Chaz with Side Hustle Network, bringing you guys more behind the scenes sourcing. On top of that, we're going to be dropping our top 3 tips for improving your cash flow in your business. Stay tuned throughout this entire video because I'm going to be doing an Apple AirPod giveaway at the end of this. So stay tuned. Today's agenda, I'm going to be hopping over to Goodwill outlet to start. I'm going to spend about an hour there, and then I'm going to hop over to a couple other retail Goodwills right when they open at 9. So let's go find some product that we're going to be able to resell on eBay. It's going to be a great episode. Tune in for the whole thing. We've got a giveaway at the end of this. Plus, we're dropping our 3 tips for improving cash flow. Let's go. Now we're here, just got to the bins. Before I head in, quick tip number 1 for increasing your cash flow in your business. Very simple strategy that not a lot of people actually do, even though most people know about it. This is running simple ads. Big misconception is ads equal a lot of money. That is not the case. Now we have 2 platforms we're talking about here, eBay and Amazon. With Amazon, you're going to run something called PPC, which stands for pay per click. PPC is very simple. When you search an item on Amazon, the first 2 spots, sometimes you'll see sponsored, that is rotating your product into that. Now, if a customer clicks on that link, you then pay X amount of cents that you set in order to potentially make a sale on that. If you need help setting up a very simple campaign for this, go onto our YouTube channel under the Amazon FBA for Beginners series that we just did. Module number 2 is going to show you a very simple and affordable PPC campaign to run. Now on the eBay side, you're going to have almost the same thing, but it's called sponsored products. Now instead of setting something like 5 cents per click, maximum $20 per day like you do on Amazon, you're going to simply set a percentage of the sale you are willing to give eBay to sponsor your product. Some people are going to tell you 5%, 10% is going to be ridiculously high. I'm not a fan of that method. So what I do is I run a 1% sponsored on my entire store. Any product that I do list, it gets under 1% sponsored. This is enough to at least get it into some type of rotation under the sponsored products. Now on products that maybe I have multiple quantities or I just want to really liquidate and get moving, that's where I'll run something like a 5% campaign. So that's tip number 1, is just run simple and affordable ads. A lot of the time you hear ads equals a lot of money. And like I said earlier, that is not the case. A lot of people hear about sponsored products. A lot of people hear about running PPC on Amazon, but not a lot of people actually set time aside to set it up and do it. So I challenge you today, set up a PPC campaign for your entire store. It doesn't matter if you're doing wholesale, retail arbitrage, or online arbitrage or private label. If you're doing that on Amazon, run all of your products under a cheap campaign. Again, go to our channel. I showed you exactly step-by-step how to set this up. And then on eBay, under sponsored products, you're going to run 1% campaign on your entire store. So that's tip number 1. Time to get inside this Goodwill, see if we can find some deals. First up, not bad, 69 cents a pound on electronics, a couple $100 worth of net profit on that. World War II looking oil can and sweet Dyson vacuum. Found a massage table. Keep an eye out for these things. Paid a couple bucks for this. And massage tables locally, it's a little dinged up, but not too bad. Because of my prior career as a massage therapist, I know the value of these. This is a master brand, so that should be able to sell for at least 50, 60 bucks locally. Bonus tip, I always bring bins, sometimes IKEA bags or boxes with me, because especially when you're buying from the actual Goodwill outlet, they're not going to give you a lot of bags. So this is always nice to have so the stuff isn't sliding around when you're driving. That's a very good tip also for anything dealing with garage sales, estate sales, yard sales, etc. Always have bins ready to go, or bags or something to carry your items in. Stop number 1, I'm definitely happy with. I literally spent about 45 minutes in there. Got a bunch of these car radios, as you guys saw, Mercedes-Benz one. These you're paying 69 cents per pound for anything electronic, so we literally paid $1 or $2 for a lot of this stuff. Now on to stop number 2. I usually do pretty well at this one. It is right at open. It's been about 5 minutes, so hopefully no one has beat me to the good stuff. Let's see what we can find. Our first find of the day, $14.99. Comes with a case. Got the instruction manual, the remote. This thing's in really good shape. Old school Sony. Should be able to resell for about $80 to $90 with that. Find number 2 that I'm gonna jump on is gonna be this VCR Copilot remote, factory sealed. It's only $3 now. The resale value is not much. I could probably sell it between 12 and 15 bucks, but what I'm going to do is I'm gonna add this in with a current VCR that I just picked up that's worth about 80, and that's gonna increase the value. Just another little side tip for you too is you don't always have to resell something solely by itself. If you get something that's cheap, like $3, this is gonna increase the value of the current VCR that I already have. So think about bundling multi-packs, different stuff just to branch out and separate your listing from others. The success, I am definitely a fan of I get in and I get out. I don't spend more than probably 15, 20 minutes max inside of regular Goodwills, and I'm just looking for 1 or 2 really good items like that. So definitely good with number 2 stuff. And just like that, I walked back out. Duds, duds, duds. And that just goes to show you, like I've shown in many videos, you are not always going to find stuff, and that's absolutely okay. It's when you walk into a store, don't find anything, and then complain, that's when it's not okay. You gotta stay consistent. Next store. But before we jump into the next store, bringing you guys tip number 2. That is having access to daily cash. That means instead of waiting 2 weeks for your Amazon FBA deposits to come through and possibly missing out on deals, you have a way to access that capital the next day that you make the sale. We personally have been using and have been big fans of Payability, which we owe them a huge thank you for sponsoring this video. Payability is the way that we have been accessing our capital the next day. So if we have a great day of sales, the next day we can access that cash out. It gets deposited into our bank by 3 p.m. I'm able to take that cash, go out and source more product. The issue I ran into and why I decided to look into a service like this was because I was dealing with a wholesale supplier that sent me daily emails of deals that they had going on. I would go spend all my capital doing retail arbitrage, then come back to the house, check my email, and there was a great wholesale deal and I didn't have any more cash. So that's why I personally decided to sign up with Payability. I've been a huge fan. I've been using them for well over a year. We've decided to partner up with them, and they're bringing you guys an awesome bonus as well. So if you decide to use them, they're gonna hook you up with a $250 cash bonus. On top of that, you are going to be lowering your 2% fee down to 1.75. So Payability, we thank you guys for helping to sponsor this video. Back to the action, next store. Let's go find some more product. And took a quick pit stop inside of Value Village, and I'm really, really happy that I did because look at this. There's a little brand to keep an eye out for. These magic wands by Viewpoint. This thing is pristine on the inside. Everything I would like to see. And it's only $7.99. These sell between $75 and $100 with everything. Helio. $6.99. Everything is inside. I already checked that one out. That should sell for lower, maybe 35 to 40. This guy, I have no idea why. These are selling between $50 and $80 for just a little Motorola flip phone. That's why you can't pass up on this stuff. You always have to just look them up, check the comps. So really happy I stopped in here. Funny part is I always prejudge this store because I've never found a single item out of this store, and I told myself just stop in for 5 minutes. I found those front and center on the shelf. Just stop in, do not prejudge stores. This is why I love the bins. Bring them in here, keeps everything nice and tidy. You guys want to know the best part about that last trip in there? I couldn't speak too loud because he was in the aisle next to me. There was a guy in there. I walked by him. He's using the eBay app, so he's obviously he's reselling. I walked by and he literally picked up that flip phone box, looked at it, and then put it down. Didn't look up comps or anything, just looked at it and put it down. I came up behind him, picked it up, just punched in the model number. It took me an extra 7 seconds of work, and the thing has sold comps for over $80. Holy crap. So that, another bonus tip, do not prejudge stores and do not prejudge products. So it was one of the biggest mistakes I made early on in my reselling business. I would pick up a product and think, oh, it's an old flip phone, not worth anything, put it back. Probably just like he did, or he's just not doing hard goods. I don't know his story. Point being, do not prejudge products. Look up the comps on anything. My rule of thumb, if it's something I've never looked up before, if I don't know the brand, I tell myself to look it up. Take the extra couple seconds of work, look it up, and then you have a knowledge base. It's data stored in your head for the next time that you see that. All right, number 5. street today, so let's get some more stuff. I'm not gonna flip this. Ooh, look at that, look at that. $3. Yeah, getting this for my boy Ty. He's got a Hulk one, so now he's got a matching one. Patriotic fiber optic light up house, and it cost $6.99. There are sold comps between $35 and $40. I'm definitely gonna grab this one. Fisher Price Kid Tough FP3 player, factory sealed, $12.99. There's no actual solds, which is a pain, but there are current listings upwards of $50. So for $12.99 to possibly flip for about $40, I'm gonna take a shot. I was getting ready to leave the store and saw this sticking out. Puffer style jacket, old school starter. Big old logo on the back. It's a little high on the cost, which is $20, $19.99. So it's a little higher than I would like, and I have to get that out. But sold comps for similar ones are going for about 50 to 60. So I'm gonna take a shot on this too. Worst case, if this does not sell online, is I know for sure in our warehouse sale that we do every month, this will move. Probably sell that for about 40, $50 locally too. And back at the office. So hopefully now you guys can see why I'm a big fan of the bins. So you can just carry them straight out of your car, not juggling bags and all that kind of stuff. So I highly recommend bins. So not a bad day for a haul. We had the gift set of that patriotic lighted fiber optic house. This is for my little man. These I picked up for Trista, and if she does not like them, for some reason, I paid $20, and they do resell new for about $110, so I can sell those for probably $60, $70 used. Also that VCR Copilot, I'm gonna toss in with one of my VCRs I have listed over there, so that's just gonna be a little bonus. Got the Bulls puffer jacket. I need to do some research on this. I don't know this kind of stuff, but I do know this is definitely older, kind of World War II era oil can. Magic wand. We got the Canon. No, that was a Sony in here. Let's open it up, shall we? Sony. This thing is in beautiful condition for how old that is, so I definitely need to go through and test that. That's definitely one thing with camcorders, electronics. Test them as much as you can. Every button you need to test to the best of your ability and state that in your listing. This flip phone is crazy. I didn't catch this earlier, but they must have tried to sell this out of a thrift store or something. $189.99. I'm definitely gonna do a follow-up video when this thing sells and let you guys know how much I sold that for. Helio, not a ton of cash in this one, maybe 30, $35. Again, this one was kind of a shot in the dark, $12.99. And then of course we got all my gizmos and gadgets from the bin, so gotta go through. There is a way to test these here at the office. I'll do another follow-up video on how I do that. Hopefully they work. If not, you can still part them out for like $30 each, and we'll call it a day. So all that brings us to tip number 3, which is don't be greedy. This is one I struggled with for a long time. My first couple years as a reseller, as an e-commerce business owner, I had a hard time settling for less than double my money on products. What I mean by that is, I would buy a product, let's say for $10, and I, in my head, want to make at least a $10 net profit. So that's doubling my money. So I would need to sell that for about $30, $35, my fees, my shipping. Of course, it depends on the item, but let's just say I spend 10, I want to make 10. I was holding on to so much product because I was so greedy for those extra few dollars that it took me months longer to sell some of this stuff, rather than just dropping my price by a few bucks, paying some money towards PPC ads, all that stuff I talked about earlier. And that led me to not selling as quickly as I should have been. We're in a buying and selling business, guys. If you are just constantly buying and you're not selling through at the rate that you're buying, you're going to be stuck in a cash flow situation. And that's not in a good way. So I definitely recommend you don't be greedy. Learn to be okay with maybe a lower ROI if your turn rate starts to move a little bit quicker. That's something we implemented in our business, paired with payability, which gives us the daily access to our own cash. And that has allowed us to really scale this business and be able to go out and source nearly every single day now. Rather than what I used to do, which is I'd go out and source for a couple days, I would spend all my money, and I would sit around twiddling my thumbs for the next week and a half waiting for my Amazon paycheck. I don't do that anymore. And now when I get emails from wholesale suppliers with some of these leads that we get, we're able to go and purchase those because we have that cash flow coming in every day. So hopefully this video helped bring some insight onto how we manage our cash flow situations. Maybe you can implement some of that and improve in your business. Huge shout out and thank you to, again, Payability for sponsoring this video. If you want to check out their information, the link is in the description below. Grab that $250 sign up bonus and you will get a 1.75% fee instead of the 2%. So with that being said, thanks for tuning in. Hopefully I will be able to sell through a lot of this stuff over the next 30 to 60 days. I'm going to do some follow-up sold videos and show you guys what the actual sell prices are going for on these. Now time for the fun part, which is going to be the AirPods giveaway. So all you need to do to enter is comment below. What is one of your tips for increasing cash flow in your business, whether you just want to give out your tip to anybody or specifically to people who are new? Comment below. We're going to be selecting one winner live randomly from the comment section Tuesday, May 7th at 5 p.m. Pacific time. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of Sourcing Behind the Scenes, specifically at Goodwill's and one thrift store today, which was Value Village. We'll see you next time. This has been Chaz, Side Hustle Network.